What is spiritual sadhana? To begin with, is this alone, where, with the Shastra book in the hands, with the mind, intellect gathered with full Shraddha and Bhakti, sitting in front of our Acharya Guru Parampara and listening to the Shastra and trying to understand the essential aspects that Shastra trying to convey to us regarding the goal, regarding the means, regarding the preparations to walk on the means to reach the goal. Till we establish in doing this sadhana in the satsanga, we have to keep on continuing it. Even after that, the sadhana continues to be the same without leaving this process. Same thing we continue beyond the hours of classes where same Shastra as taught by the Acharyas, the meaning there throughout the day we are in the contemplation of the same Shastra Artha and again trying to get the understanding as well as conviction of what is indicated as the goal and means. Either we are in the class or we are off the class. The first and foremost thing is to clearly have the understanding and conviction regarding all these three: the goal, the means, and the preparations. If these three are not very clear, how can we be the sadhakas? We should know what is the goal. We should be clear which means take us to that goal. We should very clear know what qualification, what preparation, what readiness I have to have within myself, so that on that means or the path I will walk without any disturbance, without any distractions, without any stoppage till I reach the goal. More importantly, as soon as possible. Shastra talked us about these three only. Till these three are not understood, we have not thoroughly studied Shastra. Therefore, keep on studying Shastra thoroughly under the guidance of our gurus till we become convinced about these three. And what we become convinced through listening in the class alone should be maintained throughout the day, throughout the life, and follow these convictions. So I am convinced that these are the qualifications I have to have within me. Then gain those qualifications. I am convinced that this is the path I have to walk of Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, then Vedanta Vicharana Yoga. Then follow the path. Then I am convinced about the goal thoroughly. That only when I establish in my own essential Brahma Atma Sarup that there is no moksha for me, the Jiva, from me, the Jiva Bhava. So till that is reached, we keep on walking this path. No matter how long it will take, need not worry of the time. No matter where the destiny puts us, in whichever the loka, whichever the yoni, with whatever the circumstances around, with whatever the people or experiences around, that all has its own course to go through. प्रारब्ध कहते हैं उसको. But I am clear कि what for I have to work and how I have to work and how to prepare myself. Focusing on that is called the lakshanas of a serious, sincere, matured sadhaka. The sadhaka is always aware. These are the qualifications required, but I am not yet qualified. So let me gain them. The sadhana chatushtaya sampada. Then these are the means I have to follow of Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. I am not yet thorough in that, so let me become thorough. When these two are systematically done, it is only a question of just time wherein this Shravana Manana Nidhisdhyasana sadhana takes us to the sadhya, our own experience of our own self. Once that is reached, then all the ignorance gone, all the delusions gone, all the ignorance delusion created. The world, importance to the world, desire for the world, pursuing the world, all which was only a tamasha, projected by the mind because of the ignorance of reality, just withers away, just like the deep dream of some experience withers away in moments time when we wake up from that sleep. This is what is spirituality in a nutshell. Deeply understanding it, abiding by it, is the effort we are doing through these processes of regular satsangas, regular swadhyayas, regular our own personal contemplations. May the Guru Parampara, the Lord, bless us in this regard that we stick to this work as our duty, our only duty. For the sake of this main duty or responsibility, of knowing our own true self, may we have the guts ability to transcend all other so called duties and responsibilities. May that Parapara Vairagya Bhagavan give us. May that Tivra Jignasa or Mumukshata and Mumukshata the Lord bless us with. May we feel that within our hearts very deeply, sincerely. May we work towards that. May our study of the Shastras and the life in its entirety be not wasted. May our study of Shastras and life be fully utilized for this purpose. O Lord, O Guru Parampara, O Parabrahma Shruti Mata, we are bowing down at your feet. Please make us deserved for your blessings and bless us because we deserve. Every day in this mood when we maintain our day. First, we have to start early morning this mood and keep on prolonging this mood as long as possible throughout the day. If we can maintain this mood of spirituality alone as the goal and the means and the effort, we are full sadhakas. That is a requirement finally to get rid of all the chitta vikshepas, etc. So that with the ekagrata, we are exclusively doing the sadhana and nearing to the sadhya, our own self. May it happen to all we, those who desire for it, those who want it. Today we'll start Pavamana Suktam. It will take 2-3 minutes extra, but let us enjoy the chanting of it for next 7-8-10 minutes. Then we go for our Upanishad Adhyanam in that mood. Fix that 1 hour 15 minutes for this study Swadhyaya. Om 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 ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थः ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्म पादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोडकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरोन् सन्ददमानतोऽस्मि सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः आब्रह्मलोकादाशेषादालोकालोकपर्वतात् ये वसन्ति द्विजा देवाः तेभ्यो नित्यं नमो नमः। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलं स्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। जगतीमवितुं गलिताकृतयो विचरन्ति महामहसच्चलतः अहिमांशुरिवात्र विभासि गुरो भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः परब्रह्मणः श्रुतिमातुः समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्याणां गुरूणां देवतानाम् अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिक हैंदव संस्कृतेः पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं तत्कृत समस्त कंकणबद्ध साधक सेवक उपासक संस्थापकानां समस्त बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रु निर्मूलन द्वारा शक्ति साधना संपदा आनुकूल्यता प्राप्ति द्वारा अतिशीघ्र गतिना धर्म संस्थापन दिव्य कार्य दिग्विजय प्राप्त्यर्थम विश्व शांति समैक्यता प्राप्त्यर्थम अस्माकं साधक भक्तानां आयुरारोग्यैश्वर्य क्षेम स्थैर्य धैर्यादि प्राप्त्यर्थम श्री पवमान सूक्तस्य पारायणं श्री आद्य शंकराचार्य भाष्य समेत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम अथ पवमान सूक्तं पुण्याहवाचनं तैत्तिरीय संहिता पंचमं काण्डं षष्ठः पाठकः प्रथमोऽनुवाकः तैत्तिरीय ब्राह्मणं प्रथमम् अष्टकं चतुर्थः प्रश्नः अष्टमोऽनुवाकः। ॐ हिरण्यवर्णाः शुचयः पावकायासु जातः कश्यपो यास्विन्द्रः अग्निं या गर्भं दधिरे विरूपास्तान आपश्यागस्यो न भवन्तो या सागं राजा वरुणो याति मध्ये सत्यानृते अवपश्यं जनानां वधुश्च्युतशुचयो या पावकास्तान आपश्यगस्यो न भवन्तो यासां देवा दिवि कृण्वन्ति भक्ष्यं या अन्तरिक्षे बहुधा भवन्ति याः पृथिवीं पयस्योन्दन्ति शुक्रास्तान आपश्यगस्यो न भवन्तो शिवेन मा चक्षुषा पश्यता पश्यया तनुवोपस्पृशतत्त्वचं मे सर्वागम् अग्नगिं रप्सु शदो हुवे वो मयि वर्चो बलमोजो निधत्त पवमानः सुवर्जनः पवित्रेण विचर्षणिः यः पोता स पुनातु पुनन्तु मा देवजनाः पुनन्तु मनवो धिया पुनन्तु विश्व आयवः जातवेदः पवित्रवत् पवित्रेण पुनाहि मा शुक्रेण देवदीध्यत अग्ने क्रत्वा क्रतोकं रनो यत्ते पवित्रमर्चिषे अग्ने विततमन्तरा ब्रह्मतेन पुनीमहे उभाभ्यां देवसवितः पवित्रेण सवेन च इदं ब्रह्म पुनीमहे वैश्वदेवी पुनति देव्यागात् यस्यै बह्वीस्तनुवो वीतपृष्ठाः तया मदन्तः सदमाद्येषु वयग्गस्यामपतयोरयीणां वैश्वानरो रश्मिभिर्मा पुनातो वातः नेशिरो मयो भुवः द्यावा पृथिवी प्रयसा पयोभिः ऋतावरी यज्ञियेमा पुनीताम बृहद्भिः सवितस्रुभिः वर्षिष्ठैर्देवमन्मभिः अग्ने दक्षैः पुनाहिमा येन देवा अवुनदो येनापो दिव्यङ्कषः तेन दिव्येन ब्रह्मण इदं ब्रह्म पुनीमहे यः पावमानीरध्येते ऋषिभिः संहृतगं रसं सर्वगं सपूतमश्नाते स्वदितिं मातरिश्वन पावमानीर्यो अध्येते ऋषिभिः संहृतगं रसं तस्मै सरस्वती दुहे क्षीरगं सर्पिर्मधुदकं पावमानी स्वस्त्ययनीः सुदुघाहि पयस्वतीः ऋषिभिः संहृतो रसः ब्राह्मणेष्वमृतगं हितं पावमानेर्दिशन्तु नः इमं लोकमथो अमुं कामान् समर्थयन्तु नः देवीर्देवैः समाभृताः पावमानी स्वस्त्ययनीः सुदुगाहि कृतश्च्युतः ऋषिभिः संहृतो रसः ब्राह्मणेष्वमृतगं हितं येन देवाः पवित्रेण आत्मानं पुनते सदा तेन सहस्रधारेण पावमान्यः पुनन्तु मा प्राजापत्यं पवित्रं शतोद्यामगं हिरण्मयं तेन ब्रह्मविदो वयं पूतं ब्रह्म पुनीमहे इन्द्रस्सुनीति सहमा पुनादो सोमस्वस्त्या वरुणः समीच्या यमो राजा प्रमृणाभिः पुनातु मा जातवेदा मूर्जयन्त्या पुनातो भूर्भुवस्सुवः ॐ तच्छम्योरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञवतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वञ्जिगातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Along with our Upanishad Adhyanam in our class alone. I don't know somewhere else it is done or not, that every day we are purifying our heart by invoking the grace of Shruti Mata, Veda Mata, and all the Rishis and Brahma Tattva through the chanting of the Veda mantras. Although there is nothing greater than the study of Brahma Vidya through the Upanishad and Bhashya, ultimately, yet as a preparation for that, to qualify our Antakarana, we are invoking the Shruti Mata Kripa every day through the chanting of these Veda mantras. It will be very good if you also have the book and chant along. We don't know what in our beautiful destiny tomorrow that the Lord and Guru Parampara is preparing us for. So, with gratitude, with respect and reverence, we will do these chantings every day before our Upanishad Adhyayanam. ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदा ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते. ॐ शान्तिमन्त्रः. ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः. नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेद तद्वक्तारमावेद आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम्. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. ॐ अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः. ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Atha Chaturthonuvagaha. Om Yato Vacho Nivartande. Aprapya Manasa Saha. Anandam Brahmano Vidvan. न बिभेति कदाचनेते तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्मान्मनोमयात् अन्योन्तर आत्मा विज्ञानमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविद एव तस्य पुरुषविदताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविदः तस्य श्रद्धैव शिरः ऋतं दक्षिणः पक्षः सत्यमुत्तरः पक्षः योग आत्मा महागुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति ओम शांति 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 saluting Parabrahma Tattva Shruti Mata, all our Brahma Vidya Acharyas, Rishi Muni Guru Devata, especially Vedavyasa Vaishampayana Yagnavalkya, and our great respected reverential Bhashyakara Bhagavan Sri Adi Shankara, saluting our own Acharyas, Gurus wholeheartedly, asking them to give us the required inner abilities not to miss any of these studies, understand everything thoroughly, implement and reach out. We have seen Annamaya Kosha. We have also seen Pranamaya. We have seen Manomaya and Vijnanamaya. We have seen as per the Yajurveda Brahmana. Now the quotation for that as per the Rigveda mantra we have to see. With that the Panchama Anuvaka begins. For that the Panchama Anuvaka is there. Tadapesha Sloko Bhavati. But all in all, it is an everyday exercise for us to become conscious aware with all details about every detail that is given so far regarding every of these koshas. Annamaya kosha, what is explained about it? Pranamaya kosha, what is explained about it, and what is the relation of this Pranamaya with Annamaya, Annamaya with Pranamaya, which is important, which is to be valued. So too, what is discussed about the Manomaya, every day we have to remember for some time. And then what is its relation with the Pranamaya and what is Pranamaya relation with the Mana, as the Shastra told. There are only few things, not many, but they are sufficient enough for us to wean away our identity, our Atmiyata from the sthula, gross, outer koshas and get into our Atmiyata identity with the Sukshma, the subtle, the inner koshas. This is our everyday exercise. Every day, each of the koshas have to be understood and we have to rise from that sthula to the Sukshma, from the outer to the inner, from the supported to the supporting the koshas. And we have to realize that these are the inner koshas which are supporting the other ones. The outer koshas have no meaning, no existence, no ability to function without the inner. Coming to the next level, it is for the sake of the inner, the outer is working. It is because of the inner, the outer is working, and that inner kosha is me, not the outer. In this way, from the outer ones to the inner ones in our identity, we have to rise and, if required, live in that inner and subtler kosha for sufficient period of time to get rid of the outer koshas. But even these inner koshas also, because they are not our goal, slowly even the inner one, we have to keep on traveling. So then study the Vijnanamaya kosha thoroughly. Then study the Vijnanamaya kosha in contrast with the Manomaya. Then Manomaya with regard to the Vijnanamaya. Then among these two, which is important, which is inner, which is substratum, which is the self. This way, when we consciously contemplate, understand, accept, abide in the deeper inner koshas to such an extent, from the outer kosha we get rid. That is called sadhana. Systematically. This is the Taittiriya Upanishad's speciality, uniqueness. In all other Upanishads, straight away we are told to catch on to Brahma Tattva. But we are caught up in all the five koshas so strongly that it appears to be difficult there. Theoretically, it is understood. Theoretically, those Upanishads understood to be easy because there is no jikar or discussion about these five koshas, stula se, sukshma se, vagara. Theoretically, it appears to be easy, but practically it is tough because we are lost in all these koshas. Theoretically, these Panchakosha Adhyanam of Taittiriya appears to be difficult and very elaborate and long. But practically, this is easier because here we are guided from the grossest, delicately, consciously, beautifully to the subtler one, subtler one, subtler one. So this way, Taittiriya Upanishad becomes more practical for us, our sadhana, to truly evolve. That way we can use. But those who have pakka vairagya for everything, in one go they are able to believe the Brahma Tattva. In one go they are able to understand the description of Brahma Tattva. In one go they are able to contemplate on them. Then the other Upanishads again are also easy. Every Upanishad's purpose is this. We study few of them, among them which is suitable for our sadhana, we hold on to that. Our goal is to reach to the self for our own mukti from our own not self. That we have to keep in our mind. So, the clear understanding about the Vijnanamaya Kosha, first and foremost is it is other than Manomaya, Anyaha. Second is it is inside the Manomaya Antaraha. Third one is it's the Atma of the Manomaya to such an extent that the Vijnanamaya ke liye is the Manomaya because of Vijnanamaya alone is the Manomaya. And this Manomaya, it is nook and corner, Tenaisha Purnaha. This Vijnanamaya is permeated. This Vijnanamaya also is got, like the other koshas, Purusha Vidhatvam. And that Purusha Vidhata of this Vijnanamaya kosha also is like the Purusha Vidhata of the earlier three koshas as a Pakshi Rupa, having the Shiraha, Uttaraha, Dakshina Vaksha, and Atma and the Pucham. These are all the guidances to go to the subtler and subtler koshas. These are not the final things. This is how the Shruti Mata is guiding us to reach to the Brahman, which is beyond all this. As we reach to that, all the Panchakoshas will be eliminated only as they are not having their own personal, individual reality or existence. But before that, in the steps, in the process, as we are in the grosser ones, to get rid of the grosser, the subtler, 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 we are given as an alambana. Like if I have fallen in a kuwa, so I take one by one support to come out of that kuwa. So any higher support I take, that is only to come out of the lower level of my fall. This higher support also I give up to come to the higher and higher. Finally, I have to come out of that kuwa. So I am fallen in the samsara kuwa. So each of the kosha I am taking higher and higher to come out of the lower, and coming to the higher is also not goal. Goal is to come out of the samsara kuwa to experience our blissful essential satyam jnanamanantam brahmasthiti. There should be no doubt regarding that at all. Now, this Vijnanamaya Kosha is that state of being, which is supposed to be that state of being, which has got the crystal clear, thorough, authentic understanding about the Veda mantras which are revealed at the Manomaya Kosha, with in which Veda mantras both the Dravya Yajna, Jnana Yajna aspects are exhaustively told for the worldly achievements as well as the spiritual emancipation. Instead of maintaining our Vijnanamaya Kosha this way, we have misused our Vijnanamaya Kosha only in becoming slave to the imaginations of the mind and trying to fulfill those imaginations, which are contrary to the Veda. They are not in the Vidya aspect of the Vedas, they are in the Nishedha aspect of the Vedas. What the projection of the mind, what the attraction of the senses are there, to which this Vijnanamaya Kosha, by identifying lost its own pristine, pure glory, like a Shuddha Brahmana Vamsha Janita boy. Such a wonderful Brahmana Vamsha is born, his parents, grandparents, excellent. And he himself also got good great samskaras, therefore taught by the elders of the Yajna Agadi, Upasana, all the techniques. He does it also. But he is sent to schools or colleges. In the college, he is lost in the bad company. Because bad company with that useless other fellows, so he also gets addicted to the drinks and the drugs and then totally destroys his life. Can you understand that example? Forgets that he is born in the Brahmana Vamsha, such a orthodox, such a wonderful one, with all the disciplines and commitments and spiritualities, etc. Now he is lost now in his bad company. To retrieve back him to this level, I don't know which God, who will help that fellow. Don't we see so many people in this way in this world? In the same way, our Shuddha Vijnanamaya Kosha, which should have the Veda Jnanam of what we have to do outside for our maintenance through Dravya Yajna, what we have to do inside for our own Jnana Yajna to know the truth, that Vijnanamaya Kosha should have this knowledge and that alone it should do. Instead of that, where is our Vijnanamaya Kosha now? Is it not only running behind what our mind's suggestions as desires to fulfill it? माइंड कहती है चलो वो खाने चलो ये पीने चलो. इमीडिएटली इंटेलेक्ट से चलो ठीक है चलते हैं, अब मैं बताता हूँ तुमको कैसे करना. Intellect lost here. This is a time for your study, this time for your sadhana. In fact, the entire human life is to be dedicated for knowing the truth. All these which are supposed to be the understandings and convictions of the Vijnanamaya Kosha, if he is thoroughly studied the Shastras, is totally kept aside. आए थे हरिभजन को होटल लगे कपास की तरह आर वी नॉट लिविंग every day, every moment. Either the vasanas are pushing the Vijnanamaya Kosha to run behind the mind, or the mind itself in its own projections pulling the Vijnanamaya Kosha to help that mind. Mind only does sankalpa of the desire. Mind cannot fulfill that desire. The means and techniques to fulfill the desire are guided or given by the Vijnanamaya only. That aspect of Vijnanamaya working to fulfill the desires of the mind is the misguided, enslaved Vijnanamaya, which you and I are carrying, which is the Ashuddhi of the Vijnanamaya. So we have lot of money, but money is misused for our own destruction. We have a lot of friends, but friends misused for our own destructions. We are given a good power to serve the nation or people by giving us an MLA, MP, or any police post. But the same thing we are misusing for our own destruction. So too, we are given Vijnanamaya Kosha to study Shastra and know the truth. But instead of doing that, we are misusing our Vijnanamaya Kosha. All the time, the Vijnanamaya Kosha is functioning only how to propitiate the demands of the Deha, demands of the Indriyas, demands of the Mana. And for the Sukha of these three, we are identified the things and beings of the world. Therefore, our always Vijnanamaya is working how to make that fellow happy, this fellow happy, get that object, do this project. Totally misuse of Vijnana. That is called as the Medhaya Pehita. We are very Medhavi, but not in the direction of our Mukti. We are very much Medhavi in the direction of our own Bandhanam. Our having Medhas is different. Medhas means Vijnanamaya Kosha's power. And using for what purpose is different. Having money is different, having power is different, and using for what purpose is different. And the entire outer Vaijnanika Jivanam or Vaijnanika Shastras are making human beings so much Vijnana equipped. That's called as IQs. The IQs are growing so much because of the science and studies. The problem is what? That IQ, the intelligent quotient, is only used for the outer worldly things. Is it not? Which are only projection oriented, which are only delusory oriented. whose only purpose is cheating us, not because they want to cheat us. They don't have consciousness to cheat us. But we get cheated because that is neither permanent, nor it is real, nor it has any quotient of happiness in them. Not knowing this, every intelligent person is suffering very intelligently by misusing intelligence, his own intelligence, in the wrong direction, where the happiness or liberation is guaranteedly not there. Think about it. That's why people, the more they are Vijnanika, becoming minus spiritual knowledge, using that Vijnana only to become more selfish, more greedy, more materialistic, more extroverted, more competition oriented, more destructive of the world around. See the world of science, technology. The more the Dejas are growing in that, the more they are becoming dominant to overpower other nations. Don't we see? As it happening at the national level, that a nation is growing scientifically much, it wants to control others. At the individual level also, when I grow intelligently, in my intelligence, I want to use that intelligence growth in terms of defeating others, conquering others, overpowering others. This is what samsara. High level of intellect, but used for what? This is called a ashuddhi of the Vijnanamaya kosha. The Vijnanamaya Kosha's only purpose is this. If it doesn't mean that because the Vijnanamaya Kosha can do all these, we should do. See, that discretion is missing. Why? That Vedanta Shravana samskaras are gone away. We are not gaining them. Data ही नहीं है हमको. Then how do we contemplate and understand? How do we inquire and understand what is to be done with this Vijnanamaya Kosha? Is it not? If the data is not there with us, that with the riches we have, we can do yajna agadi, we can do the upasanas, we can do the sangha seva, which is accounted as punya karma and dharma karma, which will help us in the subsequent janma. अगर ये data ही नहीं है, so that fellow will use all the money only for the outer bhoga. Lot of money is there. तो horse race में कुछ spend किया, जिसमें spend किया. Why is he doing that? Because he has no data. That this wealth also should be or can be used for these spiritual activities which fetch for him the glorious future. डेटा ही नहीं है तो कैसा करेगा वो? So throughout the life we don't have the data that with this Vijnanamaya Kosha the highest should be achieved, and that highest is spiritual glory, spiritual emancipation. Where are we taught the Upanishads? Where are we taught Brahma Vidya? Some classes somewhere, some swamis shouting at their pitch. They do. Otherwise, everywhere, what is strengthened, what is empowered is Vijnanamaya Kosha only. But after that, it is misguided. Like with all the difficulties and struggles, the atom bomb is created and it is thrown on other nation for destruction. एटॉमिक बॉम्ब तैयार नहीं करना है. एटॉमिक रिएक्टर्स न्यूक्लियर करके that energy should be used for the service of the total world. In that way, let us not worry about what's happening in the world much, except praying for the universal peace and prosperity and spiritual evolution. The rest, let us focus on what is happening in us. So the sadhanas are what? Withdraw the Vijnanamaya Kosha from its slavery to Annaprana Mano. Then use that Vijnanamaya Kosha only to study thoroughly what is said by our saints and sages through the Vedanta. And after thoroughly understanding, the sign of thoroughly understanding Vedanta Granthas with our Vijnanamaya Kosha is certainly, inevitably, Brahma Prapti alone should be accepted as the goal. When we accept Brahmanubhava alone is as the goal, then only the Shastra study is fulfilled, which is truth, and the Vijnanamaya Kosha is rightly utilized. Because that is a Mukti Hetu. Then that Vijnanamaya Kosha first should be thorough again in the study of Shem Shastra, which indicates to us the goal. Again, same Vijnanamaya Kosha is fulfilling in itself in making us qualified for reaching that goal through that means. Other than this, we are just misusing whatever is given to us, even though it is very precious. Everywhere. My own human life I misuse. My own intellect I misuse. My own Sharira Mana Buddhi I misuse. My own wealth I misuse. My own friend circle I misuse. My own power that is given to. Everywhere when the knowledge is not thorough, then we will be misguided by ourselves and others. We misuse all our resources for our own destruction. What we are doing through all our everyday study of Shastra is reinstating the Vijnanamaya Kosha in its pristine glory of what it is given to do. Vijnanamaya Kosha is given only to study Vedanta, know the truth, and give mukti to the Jiva who is owning this Vijnanamaya. Dekho, who are teaching all these subtle knowledges? Even some on the name of spirituality, we only study some Purana, some story, some crying in the ears for eyes for few minutes. They are after back to same worldliness. There is no subtle understanding, there is no sincerity regarding the truth or the Shastra. That's how day in and day out they only spend in the worldliness only one day to just die. Again to be born as some dog or cat or anything depending on our own prarabdha. Again, after all this over, with the fructification of some punya done, again we are born as human. And in the human life, again same thing what we have done, that only we do. Should we continue like that? Don't generalize this. Particularly you and I. मुझे मेरे लिए पूछना चाहिए, आपको आपके लिए. Don't think about 800 करोड़ जीवा. उनका प्रारब्ध जहाँ भाड़ में जाए, हमको क्या? पहले अपना देखो. Me, the Jiva, lost in my Jiva Bhava, should I not recognize my Atmanubhuti and get liberated from all self created, ignorance created, delusion created, identity with Upadhi, and consequent sufferings? I have to ask myself. I have to find the answer. Then my sadhana for myself. After seeing this is what we are studying from last 4 5 days regarding Vijnanamaya Kosha, a Saramsham we are discussing. Finally, the glory, beauty, pristine nature of the Vijnanamaya Kosha is when each of these limb of this Vijnanamaya Kosha is very properly maintained. Our Vijnanamaya Kosha is thorough, perfect, when in its 5 limbs these things are there, which we are seeing from last 2 days. What are they? Tasya Shraddhaiva Shiraha. See? Shraddha. Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satyabuddhya Avadharana Sa Shraddha Kathita Sadbihi. So the two-way Shraddha, you understood? First is what? The Shraddha to study Shastra called as Rutam Dakshina Moksha. After Shastra is studied, again, when the knowledge is gained from the Shastra that Paramatma is the goal, Adhyatmika Jivana is sadhana, then to do that sadhana till that goal is reached, what puts us in doing that sadhana is called as again Shraddha. But this Shraddha should be practically expressed in the form of Satyam Uttaraha Vakshaha. Is it not? Only this we have to do. Anything other falling to the level of Manomaya Kosha, etc. are falling only. Like a student going to college for his own studies and any doubts he asks the professor, he goes to library, he goes to the laboratories, learns everything, gets ready for his exams, does well, succeeds, interview, succeeds, gets job, works well in job, gets promotions, and everything is beautifully doing. There's no problem. But any level is going in wrong company of the friends, etc., not learning the knowledge, he is destroying himself. In the same way, the Vijnanamaya Kosha's job is only these 3 plus 2 5. Anything else done by it itself become a cause of our own destruction, our own falling down, our own doing wrong things, our own facing consequences. Be careful. Very personal it is. Very intimate, very within, inner our own personal knowledges we are discussing here. हमको ऐसा भान होना चाहिए, भान नहीं एक्चुअली है, ऐसे समझ होना चाहिए, ऐसे भावना. My Vijnanamaya Kosha 24 घंटे should be only studying the Shastras, only to be confirmed regarding the goal and means indicated. That's called as Shraddha. With Shraddha, when we study and the goal and means becoming conspicuous, then walking that goal, reaching that means alone should be the Shraddha again in us. Again, don't get distracted. Don't postpone it. Because at every point there's a problem. है ना? शास्त्र के लिए जाने के लिए ही श्रद्धा का लोप होता है. पढ़ने के समय भी श्रद्धा का लोप हो सकता है. पढ़कर समझने के बाद भी श्रद्धा का लोप होकर समझ तो गया हूँ, but I'll pursue the truth later on. Like that postponement we do, and we get lost in the giving priority to what the mana indriyas say. This is another powerful delusion. You and I get trapped on this even after studying Shastra for long time, in which goal is only Paramatma is indicated. Even the sadhanas of meditation are taught to us. सब समझ गए स्वामी, but then अब नहीं, बाद में. देखो, the Maya of the mind, when we are afresh in your understanding of this is the goal and this is the means, at this time, if you are not pursuing this sadhana, when this knowledge becomes old or outdated or the stale because of importance given to the manomaya and indriyas and postponing this sadhana, कल परसों कर सकते हैं क्या हम? आज जब मन ताजा है, फ्रेश है, आज नहीं करें साधना, कल परसों कैसे करेंगे? कल परसों क्या है ना, आज और कल के वासनाएं और स्ट्रांग बनाते हैं हमारे बहिर्मुखता को. Therefore, that time we have more stronger worldliness to deny this spirituality more easily. This is how the power of Maya in the form of power of delusion takes us away from the pursuit of the truth, about which we have to be all the time conscious. Therefore, study, understand, do sadhana. Study, understand, do sadhana. Till the sadhya is reached. Till the sadhya is reached. Till that time, for anything and everything else, my doors are closed. Like the true, deep, sincere scientist closes the door. He is on the in the laboratory on that street of experimentation, prayogam. Is going on doing that. He is lost to the world. He is not available to the world. World is lost to him. Then only in his deep inquiry, those subtle tricks, secrets of the truths are revealed. So too you and I. So, Shraddha eva shiraha, Rutam dakshina bhakshaha. Then the Rutam and of the dakshina bhaksha, Shraddha of the shira. To make him Satyamuttara bhakshaha, do only that sadhana of Shastra indicated for the goal reached again, indicated by the Shastra only to reach the goal. Then what makes us always be attentive? Do all these three is the Atma of these three. And what is the Atma of these three? Yoga Atma. Is it not? Yoga Atma. The Samadhanam, the Samayitatvam, the Yuktihi, the untilted, unbiased nature of our Antakarana all the time. We get tilted and biased because of asanas. We get tilted and biased because of the nature of the mind to which we were habituated, which projects. We get tilted and biased because of the value given to the ticklings of the senses. We get biased because of the laziness of the body. We get biased because of the outer attachment to the people and their misguidance, out of emotion, out of obligation, out of some pseudo duties. So many are the things because of which our samadhana बिगड़ जाता है. The moment the balance is gone, tilt has come, immediately the Shraddha of the Shira lost. Rutam, the authority of the Veda, is lost. Satyam, living life for knowing the truth, is lost. Therefore, each of these three, as important they are, more than these three important is maintaining the yoga, the samadhana, the atma, yoga atma, the samayitata, samadhanata, the unbiasedness of the antakara. That is called shuddhata. That is called as purity. How do you achieve it? Only one way, when we rise above individuality. How do we rise above our individuality? Only one way, by working for the totality. How do we work for the totality? Only by knowing that we are product of the totality, we are part and parcel of the totality, we are supposed to do exactly what totality tells us. This understanding is called as Maha Pucham Pratishta. You understood how the connection between all these five limbs of Vijnanamaya Kosha. So for this Vijnanamaya Kosha, what is the Pucham? What is the Pratishta Pucham? Maha. And what is Maha? The Mahatattvam. What is Mahatattvam? The Hiranyagarbha. What is Hiranyagarbha? The Samishti. Therefore, as regards our outer worldly activity is concerned, we should never have I and mine in that. We should do only that which the Mahat Tattva decides. So, this is called as the Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. In Karma Yoga, we do it for the world. In Bhakti Yoga, we do it for the Lord. In both cases, we stop doing for ourselves. When I am lost or I am not there for doing for my own sake, then only the I can be, what do you say, have that samadhana of the antakarana by which the Shraddha, Uttarapaksha, Dakshinapaksha can be practiced. This is how a Vijnanamaya Kosha, a matured, a pakka, a moksha giving Vijnanamaya Kosha functions. And what is Maha job? Through every Vesti, the Maha tells every Vesti only those things to do by doing which this Vesti individual gets purified to even transcend Maha and reach out to Parabrahma. This is what is the honesty of the Mahatattva. Mahatattva, the Samashti, the Hiranyagarbha, employs us in different works. And we have to work as the Mahatattva tells us. Mahatattva tells us, Hiranyagarbha tells us through the Vedas, through all the Shastra, and what they tell us, nothing but our own Varnashrama according duties. Why that Varnashrama duties, the Hiranyagarbha, the Mahatattva through Veda tell us to do? Not to bind us to the world, to make us purified, to make us transcend our own Jiva Bhava, to enter into Paramatma. That is the beauty in the Mahatattva. Mahatattva doesn't make us his own slave all the time. हिरण्यगर्भ का ईश्वर का हमको अपना गुलाम बनाना लक्ष्य नहीं होता. हमको अंतःकरण शुद्धि दिलाकर हमें परब्रह्म में मिलाना होता है. In other words, as per the Varnashrama Achara indicated by the Shastra, when we live life, our antakarana purity is gained, with which our goal of Brahmanubhuti we can easily achieve. Having this understanding clearly, having this faith, instead of working for our own individual Anna Prana Mana, when we work for the Hiranyagarbha, the totality, then that Maha becomes as a Pucham and helps as a Pratishta. Such person alone can have unbiased intellect called as the Atma Yoga. Such one alone can have the Shraddha in the Shira to study the Rutam, the Shastras. That type of study only clearly indicates the goal and means. And with the Shraddha again on, the goal and means, Satyam, we have to go on living the Adhyatmic Sadhana. When this is systematically understood and practiced, the Vijnanamaya Kosha existing Karta, instead of becoming the Karta of the Bahya Jagat, Karma and Karma Phala, he will become the Karta of the Adhyatmic Sadhana. And he slowly gets that Phala of this sadhana of recognizing himself to be one with Paramatma. This is how the Vijnanamaya Kosha is taught to us so far. And what we discussed last 10-15 minutes about how the Vijnanamaya has to function for becoming an asset to us will be explained to us in the fifth Anuvaka, which is the beginning, which has half of it has got the quotation, half of the Rigveda mantra to substantiate Vijnanamaya. The second half of the Panchama Anuvaka has got the beginning explanation of the Panchama Kosha, which is inside Vijnanamaya, called as the Anandamaya. Very beautiful all these are. Now let us chant the Panchama Anuvaka. Let us try to see its meaning. Then we enter into its Bhashyam. Om Atha Panchamo Anuvaka. Om Vijnanam Yajnam Tanute Karmani Tanute Vicha Vijnanam Devas Sarve ब्रह्मज्येष्ठमुपासते विज्ञानं ब्रह्म चेद्वेद तस्माच्चेन्न प्रमाद्यते शरीरे पाप्मनो हित्वा सर्वान् कामान् समश्नुत इति तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्मात् विज्ञानमयात् अन्योन्तर आत्मानन्दमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविद एव तस्य पुरुषविधताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविदः तस्य प्रियमेव शिरः मोदो दक्षिणः पक्षः प्रमोद उत्तरः पक्षः आनन्द आत्मा ब्रह्मपुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति ॐ शान्ति शान्ति shantihi. Before we enter into the Bhashyam, the Panchama Anuvaka, just for our own encouragement's sake, what it contains. First of all, the Panchama Anuvaka, like all other earlier 4 Anuvakas, contains 2 portions. In the 2 portions, the first portion is the Rigveda quotation, Rucha quotation to substantiate the Vignanamaya Kosha's presence, purpose, etc. Second portion of this Panchamanavaka contains the introduction, explanation of the Panchama Kosha. Okay? So this is how 2 parts of the Panchamanavaka. Now, in the first part again, there are the 4 topics that are discussed. Okay? In the first topic, the quotation or the explanation of the Rigveda mantra to substantiate what Yajurveda told about Vignanamaya Kosha. In the second topic, Vignanamaya Kosha should be worshipped as Brahma, that is discussed. How to do that? That also is taught. In the third topic, in this first portion, if Vignanamaya ka Brahma Rupa se, if we do the Abhyasa, the Upasana, what is the follow? Very beautifully explained. Like we saw it with the earlier koshas also. Like when the Manomaya Kosha is done as Brahma Upasana. Our own Manomaya Kosha and Samashti Manomaya Kosha. See, Anandam Brahmano Vidwan. See, Brahmanaha Rupena Manomayam Vidwan. Anandam Prapnoti. Then second one, Nabibheti Kadachaneti. He'll not be afraid of anything. Earlier also, when he does the Pranamaya Kosha as the Brahma Upasana, what was given? That he will live a long life without ardhantara, any type of the death, for any reason. 100 years of life he will live when the Pranamaya as Brahma he does the Upasana. Means, मेरा प्राणमय कोश है, मेरे प्राणमय कोश के लक्षणों को मेरे खुशी के लिए मैं फुलफिल करूंगा. All that is transcended. This pranamaya kosha, that pranamaya kosha, samashti pranamaya kosha is Brahman alone. In that upasana. When we do that upasana like that, then what is said there, we will live a long life without death. So without that intermediary death and all. When Annamaya Kosha ka Brahma upasana kiya, then all the Annam, whenever whatever is needed for us, is supplied without problem. So to say that each of the kosha is taken care of by the samashti, so you need not worry. Nowadays, our attachment to the koshas, to have bhoga through them is one problem. Then the maintenance of that kosha is also another problem. Even someone comes out of the attachment, but is concerned second thing about the maintenance. What is said in the Bhagavad Gita, the Shastra, that when you are devoted to me, your yoga kshema is taken care of by me. The same thing is said in the Vedas in this Bhasha. Basing on this only, Bhagavan Krishna there he says, you meditate on me, you do my upasana, your yoga kshema, I will take care. So here also, when we do the Anna Brahma upasana, Anna we get. Prana Brahma upasana, long life we get. Mana Brahmovasana, Ananda and Bhairahityam we get at the Mana level. So to the Vijnanamaya Kosha, Brahma Rup se Upasana kare, to what follow, that is indicated in the third portion of the first part of this fifth Anuvakam. In the last and fourth portion of the first part of this fifth Anuvaka, talking about Vijnanamaya Kosha, what he said is, therefore, this Vijnanamaya Kosha is inside the Manomaya Kosha, supporting the Manomaya Kosha, Atma of the Manomaya Kosha. That's how, please get detached from your identity from the Manomaya Kosha and get identified yourself as an Atma with the Vijnanamaya Kosha, never to return back to the identity of the Manomaya. Is it not? See the complete the subject is? Because the purpose of all these studies to get out of Manomaya Kosha. इतना विज्ञानमय कोश का विचार क्यों किया, विचारणा एक्सप्लेनेशन टू गेट आउट ऑफ मनोमय. सो विद दैट मेन पर्पस द फोर्थ पोर्शन के साथ द फर्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ दिस उपनिषद और द फिफ्थ अनुवाका concludes. Then by the time we get satisfied, Hammaya, have come to the withdrawal from Anna Prana Mana, the actual real Atma, Vijnanamaya, I am now identified with it. By the time you take the sauce of chain, Are Baba Rukka, even this Vijnana is not Atma. That is how the second part of the Panchamanavaka introduces Anandamaya and never allows us to stop till the ultimate goal of Brahma is reached. That is how these Upanishad mantras, the meaning of the mantras, guide the true, serious, sincere, genuine seeker through each of the kosha and to beyond the kosha to the self. All this internal, all this is in terms of our understanding and transcending our Atma Tadatmya from the grosser to the subtler, finally to the Brahma Tattva. Nothing of the outer world you can change. Everything goes accordingly. I am changing inside from my own Sthula identity to the Sukshma. Accordingly, my attitudes, my actions are changing. When I came to the Vijnana Kosha, my attitudes, actions have changed. Earlier, my Vijnanamaya was slave of Pranamaya, Annamaya, Manomaya. Now, the Vijnanamaya's only work is study Shastra and get convinced about it and have Shraddha in that, try to do sadhana. So, to finally, when I go beyond all Panchakoshas, establish in my own Brahmatmika Bodha, world will not change. Everything moves in its own flow. But I discover now that I am the substratum of the world. I am not a part of the world as a Jiva with Upadhi to struggle in the world to get something and getting disappointed to suffer in the world. No. So that anubhuti comes to us. World remains. World hai ya nahi farak nahi padta. Like how much ever corona is in the world, if I have immunity and I am not troubled by it, I am safe. है ना, कितना भी भूकंप हो, फ्लड हो, how does it matter if I am safe? In the same way, let the Ishwara's Maya run the world show. When I have established my own essential self, where is the bondage? That is how the experience of it. Okay, now literal meaning we will see for a few minutes here. And tomorrow thoroughly we will study this Vijnanamaya Kosha's quotation from the Rigveda, which is very powerful, very essential. A lot of that portion we have discussed in today's analysis, but with the Bhashyam we will study tomorrow. So Vijnanam Yajnam Tanute. Tanute means karta hai. The Vijnanamaya Kosha existing karta alone does the yajnas. What all the details we will see tomorrow. यज्ञ इज कर्म. यज्ञ का ही कर्म हमको करना चाहिए. हमें वही कर्म करना है जो यज्ञ है. यज्ञ के लिए है, कर्म करना चाहिए. कर्म होता है यज्ञ के लिए. दिस इज हाउ विज्ञानम यज्ञम तनुते. The Vijnanamaya Kosha in the Jiva is responsible for doing the yajnam. Here yajnam is karmas. Every karma should be yajnam. Therefore, the yajna word is used by Shruti Mata. There should be no karma in us. There should be only yajna in us. Yajna is a karma only. Yajna is expressed through karma. But when the karma is backed by the desires and all, then it becomes karma. But the same karma, when it is according to the Vedanta, Vedas and Shastras, it becomes yajna. For an individual, according to our Veda Shastras, the life is only two types. The Dravya Yajna for the outer safety security, the Jnana Yajna for the realization of self and moksha. There are no karma at all. कर्म करोगे तो कर्म वासनाएं बनेंगे, कर्म संस्कार बनेंगे, हम फंसते ही जाएंगे उसमें. Therefore, what are we doing throughout the day? Karma? No. Karma yoga? Yes. How karma yoga? As yajna. That's why in Gita 3rd chapter, Bhagavan lifts us from the karmi to a karma yogi and lifts the karma yogi to yajna karmi. Is it not? 3rd chapter talks about yajna. 4th also talks as yajna, yajna, yajna. Our life is like this is what jnana yajna. After this, when you are out of the class throughout the day, what you are doing is not karma but yajna. How to say that I am doing yajna? Do only what is said by Shastra, then you can say that you are doing yajna. Outside लोगों को करो कि I am doing this and that, but heart in heart I must know that I am following what Shastra said, therefore I am doing yajna. Cooking is also yajna, eating food also yajna. Doing your jobs is yajna. When it is not for selfishness, when it is according to the Shastra, according to our own Varnashrama Dharma. This is how we have to live. Is it not like a doctor? He will, before entering to his treating chamber, he will take his bath, he will wear all his gloves, he takes the due protective precautions, whatever they may be. Otherwise, he will get the disease of the patient. Then he enters, then he does every treatment required for every patient throughout the day, and he himself is safe. How is he able to do? He is very conscious of all his duties in his own protection and to take care of patients according to the medical books what he studied. So he is doing yajna. See how clear it is? According to Shastra. So he is protecting himself also. He is fulfilling his duty of taking care of patient also by all the means. And he is not allowing anything of that to touch him. That's one operation. Two, कोई डॉक्टर तो एक दिन में 10-12 भी ऑपरेशन कर ले. Half an hour while he's so concentrated. Like we do 5-6 classes per day, and he does. There are some doctors who have done 40,000, 30,000 operations. Every day 4-5. They are only surgeons, expert surgeons. So many cases. This is how many the eye operation doing ophthalmologists are there. So many every type of surgery वाले आते रहते cases लगे रहते. Very pressure. So to any profession, an electrician, he knows to how to protect him. So all those electric proof things he'll wear, electric knowledge he'll have, go to the department where he's employed, does exactly what is to be done, protecting himself, doing the work. If he's in that mode, he is in yajna. In the same way, we and all, I conduct what is to be done daily according to Shastra. Not because somebody told, not because our mind told. Because the Shastra told, if that way we do, every karma of ours is a karma yoga, every karma yoga is a yajna, helps us only in purifying the existing impurity, not adding new ones. Such one slowly, by purifying himself through the Dravya Yajna, becomes qualified for the Jnana Yajna. See, clarity? Is there any ambiguity? Is there any doubt in this? That is why Vijnanam Yajnam Tanute, Karmani Tanute Vicha. That Yajna, theoretical understanding, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, practically executes as karma. Therefore, the Vijnanam Yajnam Tanute is the clarity of the knowledge as to what is to be done, and it is to be done with Yajna spirit. Practically doing it is called as karma. Karmani Tanute Vicha. This is out the first portion. The quotation of the Rigveda for substantiating Yajurveda Brahmana. Now, when the Vijnanamaya Kosha is done with the Upasana that it is Brahma, what is the result? Vijnanam Brahma Chetveda. See, second portion. Vijnanam Devaha Sarve. Brahma Jeshtam Upasate. Every devatas are there only doing the upasana of the Brahma only. The outer Adidevika devatas, also the inner Adi Atmika devatas. How is that? We'll see the Bhashya. Then comes now Falashruti, doing the upasana of the Vijnanamaya as Brahma. Ki Vijnanam Brahma Veda Chet Veda. But not sufficient. Tasmat Chet na pramadyati. Tasmat na pramadyati Chet. Without falling from that pristine practice of Vijnanamaya as Brahman, when we don't fall, continuously do the upasana of Vijnana as Brahma, what is the result on? The results are Sharire Papmanah Hitva Sarvan Kaman Samashnuta Iti. Along with all the Papa, the Sharira Tadatmya, Anna Prana Mana, even Vijnanamaya Kavi Chodkar, Sarvan Kaman Samashnuta Iti, he will be experiencing all the Sukha, Bhoga or Ananda of all the Kamana fulfillment. Without the need of fulfilling Kamanas with all the struggles. We'll explain everything tomorrow. We are just explaining according to the main mantra, as we told in the introduction, that in the first portion of this mantra, the four topics are there. The third topic is when the Vijnanamaya Kosha as Brahma, the Upasana is done, what is the phala? Now the conclusion of all this, the purpose of all this is what? Ki tasyesha eva sharira atma. So tasya manomayasya esha vijnanamaya manomaya sharire stitva sharira bhutva atma bhavati yah purvasya. Okay. Now, other than this, Vijnanamaya is another one, Anandamaya. Therefore, Tasmadva etasmad Vijnanamaya Anyaha Antara Atma Manu Anandamaya Tenaisha Purnaha. The second portion contains introduction to the Anandamaya Kosha. Tomorrow we'll study this with Bhashyam. Sarvam Bhagavad Guru Charanaravindarapanamastu. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramarashibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shrutimatre Namaha Om Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Friends, perhaps in last 1 or 2 months, whatever we have studied, the essence of that most clearly we have discussed today. So today's our Upanishad class is wonderful, best, very clear as regard the content is concerned for our understanding. So I can suggest you to listen once, twice again. Those who have missed it, you must listen. Because very systematically the entire introduction is given. The Panchakoshas are also explained up to the four Vijnanamayas, nature, glory also explained. How it gets lost in the other three also told. How the Pancha limbs of Vijnanamaya Kosha, as said by or as given to us by that Hiranyakarpa Purusha are understood, what to do also understood. So today's class, when we listen 3-4 times, a very good clarity, maturity comes. And for this today's understanding only, we are spending lot of time in training ourselves to listen and understand the earlier portions, earlier koshas. Not knowing this, people thinking that it is heavy or we can't understand, they left out the Upanishad. Most unfortunate fellows. Other than feeling sympathetic to them for their own egoistic decisions of not coming to class, I can't do anything. But today's class is very sweet, very wonderful, very fulfilling. As regards contents, for that we have to be Grateful to all our Rishi Muni Guru Devata Parampara. They have blessed us. May they bless us every day. May they keep our moods always in that highest level every day to grasp in all minute details all the knowledges that are given in all the Shastras which we are studying all through the day. Thus, our day, every day will be a festival, perhaps much greater than the outer festivals. Inside festivals, in the learning of knowledges, in the getting of convictions, in the committed practices of sadhanas to reach to the Siddhi. O Rishi Parampara, Guru Parampara, Devata Parampara. Please bless all those who are very regular and sincere in reaching to you straight without any distractions and inner or outer obstacles. Please make us deserving your blessings and bless us. Thank you. We'll study our Yoga Darshanam for some time.